Okay, in this short instructional video, we're going to go through the steps for installing the precision irrigation analysis tools and the folder structure. This is just to, it's not really an install of an executable. It's just helps me get the folder structure in place and the files there associated with it to get you guys up and running. So the way you get started is each of you should have access to the Precision Irrigation Analysis folder under Dropbox. You can see here all three of us have access to it. If you don't, let me know and I will fix that. But log into the Dropbox, go under Precision Irrigation Analysis folder, and you'll see this MSI, this Windows install file. And all you need to do is highlight it and download the file, and it's going to download to my computer. Once downloaded, I'll just close the browser out of the way, go to the downloads folder, and you'll see it here in the downloads folder. Now yours may look a little different depending on what else you have inside your downloads folder, but that's what you're looking for here. And all you need to do is double click on it, and we'll run this file. And it says, welcome to the Precision Irrigation Analysis Setup Wizard. Hit next. This is important here. Leave this C drive the default. It just makes things a little bit easier for me as I release new tools, and if we have to, we can change that in the future, but for now, leave that alone. Leave that C drive, and don't put anything else in there. Hit next, and then hit install. And again, all it's really doing is setting up a folder structure and placing some tools in there that we'll start to use. All right, we get the completion wizard window up. We hit finish. So if I go back to C drive now, we'll see that I have this new folder called Precision Irrigation Analysis folder. And in there, you should see three folders. The farms folder, which will have nothing in it right now. But this is where we'll start to organize our farm data. Have a shared data folder. This is right now only has in here a countrywide state plane zone file geodatabase that we'll use for referencing local coordinate systems for the projects, and we'll talk about that later. And then most importantly is this tools folder. And right now there's only two Python files in there and one toolbox, one ArcGIS toolbox that we'll use it here in a second. So, and this is where I'll start placing the other files as I get them converted and moved into the system. So the last thing we'll want to do to complete this setup is to start ArcMap. So we've got our tools loaded, our folder structure in place, and this is an actual Windows install. So if you go to Control Panel and go to Uninstall, you'll see it listed as a program here, and I'm doing that intentionally for doing upgrades and or complete version control and things like that. So just treat it as a Windows program. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is configure ArcMap to now look at this folder structure so we can use it moving forward. So next thing I'm going to do is open up ArcMap. Now you may have to go to Program, Start All Programs, and go to ArcGIS and find ArcMap. I like to drag that out onto my desktop or my taskbar, so I always have it local. But let's fire up ArcMap. Now, when you're starting off from scratch, you should see this this type of screen. You'll start a blank map. I just like to hit cancel, and let's get my window here. Let's just maximize that here. All right, now the first thing you want to do is you want to create some folder connections to the precision irrigation analysis tools that we just loaded, and you should see over here some folders or some windows, and one of those is going to be the catalog window. If you don't see that, you can come up here and turn it on up here. But I'm going to open up this and I'm going to dock it. I'm going to click this little pin that'll keep it there. And the first thing I want to do is I want to make some folder connections. And by default, if you started this straight up, you will not have any folder connections here. So the first thing I want to do is add a connection to a folder. I'm going to go out to my computer on my C drive, and I'm going to make a connection to to two places here. Actually, let's just do one place here, and it's going to be the precision irrigation analysis root to the install that we just went through, which has the farm, shared data, and tools. And so I'll hit OK, and now I have this folder connection, and I can open that up, and I can start jumping around to all the different folders I need to work in. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to make one more connection here. One, because I want to be able to jump to my tools directly without having to go through a bunch of different clicks here. So I'm going to highlight the folder connections again, make one more, and I'm going to go right to the tools folder of that structure. So now I have one directly to the tools folder. It's right here, and I can start working with all the tools that are in there. Okay, so that kind of concludes the setup and configuration of the tools. Gets Arc Map connected to those folder structures, and the next video we're going to go through and add a farm and start doing some work here. Okay.